We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 14, Text number 1. 4.14.1. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Bhrigu. Adaya. Te. Munaya. Lokanam. Chema. Darshina. Goptari. Asati. Vai. Nrinam. Pashyanta. Pashyasamyatam. Maitreya Uvacha. Brigvadayaste Munayo. Lokanam Chemadarshina. Goptara Sattvainrinam. Pashyantam Pashyasamyatam. Maitreya Uvacha. Brigvadayaste Munayo. Lokanam Chemadarshina. Goptarya Sattvainrinam. Pashyantam Pashyasamyatam. Maitreya Uvacha. Brigvadayaste Munayo. Lokanam Chemadarshina. Goptara Sattvainrinam. Pashyantam Pashyasamyatam.
Maitreya Uvacha. Brigvadayaste Munayo. Lokanam Ksemadarshina. Goptarya Sattvainrinam. Pashyanta Pashusamyatam. Maitreya Uvacha.
Brigvadayaste Munayo.
Lokanam Ksemadarshina. Dai Asati Vainrinam. Pashyanta Pashu Samyatam.
Maitreya Uvacha. Brigvadayaste Munayo. Lokanam Ksemadarshinaha. Goptarya Sattvainrinam. Pashyanta Pashusamyatam.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Brigvadayaste
Munayo.
Lokanam Ksemadarshinaha.
Goptarya Sattvainrinam. Pashyantam Pashyasamyatam. Maitreya Uvacha. Brigvadayaste Munayo. Lokanam Chemadarshina. Goptarya Sattvainrinam. Pashyantam Pashasamyatam.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Vacha.
Brigadaiste Munyavyo.
Brigadayastam Munayo.
Lokanam Sheva Darshina.
Lokanam Chengadarshina.
Tara Sati Vainunam.
Goptaya Saktivainunam.
Pashyantaha Pushunam Yatam.
Pashyantam Pashasamyatam.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Vacha.
Vigvadayaste Munayo.
Vigvadayastam Munayo.
Lokanam Kshema Darshina.
Lokanam Chengadarshina.
Goptaya Sativainirnam.
Goptaya Saktivainunam.
Pashyanta Pashu Samyatam.
Pashyantam Pashasamyatam. Ladies,
Maitreya Vacha.
Maitreya Vacha.
Bhagavadasya te munayo.
Vigvadayaste Munayo.
Lokanam Chemadarshina.
Lokanam Chengadarshina.
Taryasate Vainrinam.
Goptaya Saktivainunam.
Pashyanta Pashusamyatam.
Pashyantam Pashasamyatam.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Vacha.
Brigadayaste Munayo.
Vigvadayaste Munayo.
Lokanam Kshemadharshina.
Lokanam Chengadarshina.
Taryasati Vainrinam.
Goptaya Saktivainunam.
Pashante Pashu Samyatam.
Pashyantam Pashasamyatam.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Vacha.
Brigvadayaste Munayo.
Vigvadayaste Munayo.
Lokanam Kshema Darshina.
Lokanam Chengadarshina.
Goptarya Sati Vainrinam.
Goptaya Saktivainunam.
Pashanta Pashu Samyatam.
Pashyantam Pashasamyatam.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Vacha.
Vigvadayaste Munayo.
Vigvadayasta Munayo.
Lokanam Kshemadashinaha.
Lokanam Chengadarshina.
Goptarya Sati Vainrinam.
Goptaya Saktivainunam.
Pashanta Pashu Samyatam.
Pashyantam Pashasamyatam.
Maitreya Uvacha.
Maitreya Vacha.
Brigadvasyate Munayo.
Vigvadayasta Munayo.
Lokanam Kesha Darshina.
Lokanam Chengadarshina.
Goptarya Sati Vainrinam.
Goptaya Saktivainunam.
Pashanta Pashu Samyatam.
Pashyantam Pashasamyatam. Maitreya Uvacha. The great sage Maitreya continued. Bhrigu Adaya, headed by Bhrigu. Te, all of them. Muniya, the great sages. Lokanam, of the people. Chemadarshina, who always aspire for the welfare. Goptati, the king. Asati, being absent. Vai, certainly. Nrinam, of all the citizens. Pashanta, having understood. Pashusamyatam, existence on the level of the animals. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. The great sage Maitreya continued. O great hero Vidura, the great sages headed by Bhrigu were always thinking of the welfare of the people in general. When they saw that in the absence of King Anga, there was no one to protect the interests of the people, They understood that without a ruler, the people would become independent and non-regulated. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this verse, the significant word is Chema Darshina, which refers to those who are always looking after the welfare of the people in general. All the great sages headed by Bhrigu were always thinking of how to elevate all the people of the universe to the spiritual platform. Indeed, they advised the kings of every planet to rule the people with that ultimate goal of life in mind. The great sages used to advise the head of the state, or the king, and he used to rule the populace in accordance with their instructions. After the disappearance of King Anga, there was no one else to follow the instructions of the great sages. Consequently, all the citizens became unruly, so much so that they could be compared to animals. It's described in Bhagavad Gita 4.13. Human society must be divided into 4 orders according to quality and work. In every society there must be an intelligent class, administrative class, productive class, and worker class. In modern democracy, these scientific divisions are turned topsy-turvy, and by vote, Shudras or workers are chosen for administrative posts. Having no knowledge of the ultimate goal of life, such persons whimsically enact laws without knowledge of life's purpose. The result is that no one is happy. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Balakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Jamshajiva Sadaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Svaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschadya Deshatarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lam Yagate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. So, what is the difference between this situation thousands of years ago, when there was no proper leader, and the modern day situation. Do you see any difference? I don't see any difference. It says here all the people were acting like animals. That's true today too, isn't it? Simply animals. Eating, sleeping, mating and defending. That is the business of animals. Those who do not pursue the path of self-realization, who simply engage in eating, sleeping, mating and defending, know for a fact they are simply animals. That's why this world, there's even a saying, I remember we used to drive from San Diego to Los Angeles, from our San Diego temple to the LA temple. And there was a big billboard there on the side of the freeway in Los Angeles that said, "It's a jungle out there." And I went, yeah, it really is a jungle. Jungle means animals. This material world is simply a jungle. I've been listening again and again and again to a morning walk Prabhupada gave in Los Angeles on the beach because it is so powerful. He is calling for a spiritual revolution on this planet. He's telling the American devotees that your American nation is favored by God, karmically. So now you utilize that favor, he said, you become perfect, and now you leave the whole world. Prabhupada is ordering it like that, his disciples. Prabhupada said, we're not interested in having political posts, but we want the government leaders should take guidance from us. He's telling the devotees that if the leaders of America will come to him, he will guide them how they can lead the whole world, you see, in a very proper way. You see. Unfortunately, the American leaders have not taken advantage of this movement. You see. We got a little word from President Obama. He at least appreciated our point I made. But where are the leaders who are actually willing to take guidance from those who are enlightened in Krishna consciousness? Where are those leaders who are willing to rule their countries according to the directions of enlightened teachers? There's no such leaders anywhere on this planet. So it's very similar to this situation. They're killing so many, 156 million animals are slaughtered every day, 66,000 babies are slaughtered every day, with the sanction of our governments. What kind of governments are these? These are murderous, heinous rakshasas who are ruling our governments. So this is a very telling purport, describing our situation now. This sentence is really striking. All the great sages, headed by Bhrigu, were always thinking of how to elevate all the people of the universe. Wow! They weren't only thinking about this planet. You see, this universe is there's people on all the planets, not just the Earth planet. It's like on the moon, there are moon beings. Our so-called astronauts made a so-called moon landing. They didn't see the moon civilization. Of course, even if they did go to the moon, which is debatable, there's one report they landed on the planet Rahu instead. They didn't actually land on the moon. But even if they did go to the moon beings have bodies that are not very visible to us. They have different kinds of bodies. So on the sun planet also they have bodies, very fiery bodies. So every planet, they have bodies suitable for that atmosphere. They don't need to wear spacesuits. You see, we have bodies suitable for the Earth planet. The other planets have bodies suitable for those planets. the sages, they're not only considered about the beings on the earth, they're considering about all the beings on all the planets. That's why the spiritual master, the great enlightened spiritual masters, they are called Jagat Guru. Spiritual master of the whole universe. They want to elevate and liberate the people not only on the earth planet but also all the planets. So this is the mood of the great sages. That all the people on all the planets in the entire universe will become elevated to the spiritual platform. They advise the kings of every planet, so every planet has a king. It's like Suryadev on the sun planet. They would advise all these kings on all these planets how to rule their planets in such a way citizens of those planets could become liberated from the cycle of birth and death. So Prabhupada said, we're not interested in having the political post, although at one point he did have devotees do that. It's interesting, I was in ISKCON in that era. It was called, Prabhupada started a party called In God We Trust. And we had devotees running for office. I was in Gainesville, in Amarendra Prabhu actually got a lot of votes. So he's running for city council, he got a lot of votes. Kind of a hippie town, a lot of hippies there. But then later on, Prabhupada had to stop it because it's not legal for a church to run a political party. You lose your status as a church, legally in the U.S. Probably everywhere. A church cannot be involved in politics, legally. So we had to stop it, but if devotees do want to run for political office, it still can be done. Anybody who wants to run for office. But technically speaking, our position is not to run for office, but to advise those who are in the office. That's Vedic culture. Brahmans, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So now Prabhupada points out topsy-turvy, that means upside down. See? Topsy-turvy, completely upside down. Just like here's Bhagavatam, topsy-turvy, see, upside down. So now they have the Sudras running the world, the Sudras running the planet. So you can understand why it's a hellish atmosphere on this planet. The Sudras are in charge of this place. And a few Vaishyas. Prabhupada said, democracy, democracy, demon crazy. So what is our message to all of these leaders? If we could get the audience of all these leaders right now, if every leader in the world were tuning into this Bhagavatam class right now, what would we say to them? If Trump and all the others were tuned into this class right now, what would we tell them? You see? If you had an opportunity, you were given an audience with your Prime Minister, what would you tell him? Would you train him how to run Romania in a Krishna conscious way? Would you do that? Are you prepared to do that? You see, that's the caliber of Krishna consciousness that we have to have. You see? That if you're Prime Minister of Bulgaria, he came to you and said, tell me how to run this country. Are you prepared to guide him how to do it? You see? That we have to do. We have to become qualified. First thing is shut down the slaughterhouse and the abortion clinics. That's a very important thing. Because the sinful reactions from all this cow killing and baby killing is completely destroying this planet right now. The atmosphere on this planet is being destroyed by all these sinful reactions. It's the first thing. No more cow killing. At least the cows you must stop killing. That's the first. No cow killing and baby killing. Prabhupada in this walk, he's saying those who do not believe in God should be punished. If you don't believe, it's a criminal activity not to believe in God. That's what Prabhupada was saying. They should be, those who don't believe in God should be punished. Just imagine, if you don't believe in God, we're putting you in prison. That's you're guilty of not believing in God, you go to prison. He didn't say what the punishment would be, but Prabhupada, they should be punished if they don't believe in God. But then Prabhupada was talking about this popular, see in America, the U.S. Congress made a law, this is the national motto of the U.S., in God we trust. But they don't, you ask them, who is God? They don't know. So Prabhupada said, if some man comes, if you don't know someone, how you can trust him? Some stranger comes, say, can you lend me $1,000? Well, I don't know you. How can I trust you? You see what I'm saying? So this, Prabhupada said, is simply an empty slogan. He says, we trust in God, therefore we fully surrender to Him. You see? But their trust, in God we trust, is simply an empty slogan. In God we trust. Because they don't know who is God. How you can trust God if you don't know God? So we have to train these people here in Romania and Bulgaria, the US, all the countries of the world. We have to train them to understand who is God. You see? What are His qualities? What are His activities? What are His names? What are His teachings? Who are His associates? What is His entourage? What is His paraphernalia? We need to educate in every educational institution. The elementary school, the junior high, the high school, the colleges, the universities, the entertainment industry, everywhere Krishna education should be given. Everywhere. So that everyone knows who is God. Some may argue, well, this is sectarian. No, we are teaching God consciousness. You understand God is Allah, that is alright. Today, it was interesting, in my e-course, somebody named Ali Muhammad just signed up for my e-course. We are teaching the science of God here. You see, this applies to Muslims, the Christians, the Jews, the Hindus, the Sikhs, the Jains, the Buddhists, everyone. We want to teach everyone how to become lovers of God. So this teaching must now be promoted by the governments. Otherwise, get rid of those rascal leaders. We must put into governmental positions those persons who are promoting God consciousness in their countries. If they're not promoting God consciousness, get out. You're not qualified to sit in that office. You're not qualified. Get out of your position. You're a criminal. This is rascal. So this we must have. We must have God conscious leadership. It is stated, whatever the great men do, the common people follow in their footsteps. So that means in every sphere of activity, the leaders must be Krishna conscious men. It must be. It must be Krishna conscious. There must be men and ladies in every position who are Krishna conscious. So by their example, by their words, people will understand what is their duty. Now they're thinking simply gratify the senses, eat, drink and be merry, for tomorrow we may die. Simply is based on sense gratification. No one can be happy from this sense gratification. How many people became happy by sexual indulgence? By tongue indulgence? No one has ever become happy by gratifying their material senses. Some temporary titillation, but then after that frustration. Nobody ever became happy by gratifying their material senses, because it's not you. How you can be happy by, let's say you're hungry, or you're thirsty, and you put some water in the radiator of your car, will that satisfy your thirst? Putting water in your car radiator? No. You have to drink the water. So all of these activities, gratifying the tongue, gratifying the genitals, these activities are just putting water in the radiator. They're not even touching the self. They don't give satisfaction. So we have to learn this art of what is actually satisfying to the self. We have to engage in those activities which actually satisfy the self, which we know by studying the Vedic wisdom, we know by hearing from our beloved Srila Prabhupada, and we know also by practical experience, by applying these teachings. We understand that what actually satisfies us is giving our love to Krishna. Krishna is ready and willing to exchange love with you. We were reading yesterday in the purport, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 26. Krishna is ready, willing and eager to exchange love with you right now. So how do you get that exchange of love? You have to give your love to Krishna. You will give your love to Krishna, Krishna will reciprocate with you. How much? 10 times more. That's a pretty good deal, isn't it? If you can invest in some stock where or some investment, you put in $1, you get $10 back. Then you take that 10, you get 100 back. Put 100 in, you get 1,000 back. Put 1,000, you get 10,000 back. Put 10,000, you get 100,000 back. Put your 100,000, you get $1 million back. All from $1, you get $1 million. That'd be a pretty good investment, wouldn't it? That's Krishna consciousness. Whatever love you give to Krishna, he gives you 10 times reciprocation. So who is that fool, who is that rascal, who is that total absolute idiot who would not give their love to Krishna? That's us, isn't it? It's embarrassing, isn't it? That's us. It's embarrassing, but we have to admit it. We haven't awakened our love for Krishna yet. Here we are trying to gratify our senses still. Even if we're following the principles, still meditating on sense gratification. It's embarrassing, but what can you do? We're basket cases here, Basket case. So we have to pray for the mercy, and pray for the mercy of Guru, Krishna, please save me, please save me. What did Prabhupada, even Prabhupada said, please, to his spiritual master, he said, please save me if fallen, your divine grace. If Prabhupada presenting himself like that, what is our position? Actually, Prabhupada is not fallen, but he's teaching us by his example what our mood should be, what our understanding should be of our position. Please save me if fallen. The more I can feel that I'm fallen, then I have some hope. Give me up my nonsense. So we have two big tasks. We lead the world out of chaos, and it's even heavier, lead ourselves out of chaos. Get ourselves out of chaos. That's the biggest thing. We can simply bring our own senses under control, then we can lead the whole world out of chaos. But the biggest problem we have is our uncontrolled senses. That's our biggest problem, uncontrolled senses. Biggest problem, uncontrolled senses. So we have to then engage these senses. Rishikesha, Rishikena, Sevanam. Engage the senses. Rishik, in the service of the master of the senses, Rishikesha. Rishikena, Rishikesha, Rishikena, Sevanam. Engage your senses in the service of the master of the senses. That is Krishna consciousness, that is perfection. that will liberate us from all of our suffering and anxiety and distress and confusion and spaced outness and anger and greed and all this lust and all this garbage that's sitting in our hearts. Simply, we continue to engage our senses in the service of the master of the senses, gradually that all will go away. And we will come to that point where we can see Krishna face to face. So we have a few minutes left. Is there any questions? Yes?
I have a question. The last point you made about that if you invest $1 or 1%, Krishna reciprocates with 10%. Someone may ask, I have been giving 1% so long, but where are the 100% and 10%?
You think you give...
1% I have given up my sense gratification.
Have you truly given it up within your thoughts though? You say, well, I've done all this and I haven't seen Krishna yet, so there's something wrong with the process. No, there's something wrong with your sadhana, sir. The process works if you work the process. They say the process doesn't work, that means they're not working the process. Many people come to ISKCON and leave also. I've been around for almost 50 years. I've seen them come and go, like a bus station almost. Even big sannyasis, gone. So what's the difficulty? Was there something wrong with the process? No, they were not applying it properly. Anybody who applies this process as Prabhupada has given it will realize Krishna. They'll become liberated from the cycle of birth and death, and they become re-established in their religious loving relationship with Krishna.
But the question is 1%. They must have given 1%.
No, they haven't even given 1%. They haven't gotten the result, they haven't even given their 1%. That's the answer. Next? Yes?
How to properly surrender to Krishna?
What's the question?
How to properly surrender to
Well, you have to follow the instructions given in Bhagavad's books. It's a very simple thing. You take Sharada, the bona fide spiritual master, take his orders, your life and soul, chant at least 16 rounds of Japamala every day, give up illicit sex, meeting, intoxication, and gambling, engage your thoughts, words and deeds in the service of Guru and Krishna 24 hours a day. What is the difficulty? You having any difficulty? You're not? Well, that's very good. We shall learn from you then. Prabhupada often say, what is the difficulty? Difficulties are minds actually. They get in the way. Process is not difficult. Prabhupada is it's difficult. It's what is it? How do you say that? Simple for the simple and difficult for the crooked. We have difficulty because of our crooked, cheating mentalities. When we have difficulty, it is our crooked, cheating mentalities getting in the way. So we have to be simple, humble devotees, and it's very simple. You just chant, you get up early in the morning, you take your bath, you observe Mangalarti here at the temple or at home, you see, and you engage in the service of Krishna. You offer your food. It's a simple thing. You preach as much as you can to deliver the people of your country. Yes.
If we listen to other gurus outside of ISKCON, will we achieve?
If there is what?
If we listen to other gurus outside ISKCON.
Oh, okay.
Will we achieve the same result as what
Prabhupada told us not to do that. Because sometimes devotees were going to like other Gaudiya Guru. Prabhupada said if they say even one word different, then the whole thing is spoiled. The difficulty is they do teach differently than what Prabhupada teaches. Prabhupada has the best explanation of the Vaishnava conclusion. He's the only one who understands. He's the only one who had the vision of Lord Chaitanya's mission. Jari deka tahe kaha Krishna Pradesh. The others thought it was some simile. That the idea of Lord Chaitanya's movement spreading all over the world was just some poetic simile. They couldn't think it was possible to do such a thing. Only Prabhupada had the vision of creating a worldwide institution. Only Prabhupada had the vision. Now that Prabhupada has done it, and they come on like, well, they want to steal devotees from this camp. That's the thing. They did not have the vision that Prabhupada had of a worldwide Lord Chaitanya's mission. None of them had it, not even one. And Prabhupada did have it, and now they want to take devotees away. They want to take it, follow Prabhupada's followers and make them their own followers. There's many cases. I've seen shocking examples of this. They want to steal from Prabhupada. My disciples should not go. Nobody's gone to Buddha should go. Prabhupada told us not to. Prabhupada specifically told us, if you send me an email, I'll give you the exact quotes. I don't have it in my head right now, but I can give you the exact quotes. Prabhupada told us not to go outside. If you want to disobey Prabhupada and go outside, you're already gone, as far as I'm concerned. You're already gone. You're not really part of our movement. Because Prabhupada told us not to do that. And if you disobey Prabhupada, you're not even part of our movement anymore, really. You've already left within your heart, you're gone. What can I say? Yeah.
I want to ask about farm communities.
Farm communities.
Places describe that the sages, they thinking for the welfare of everybody, how to be spiritually elevated. And the question is, I want to put my energy in this farm projects more and more to be successful. Is this working for the spiritual?
How to make your project a success?
No. He's saying that how he can become more Krishna conscious, because he's putting most of his energy in the farm. No?
No, the question is, what is the... it is possible the farm project to be helping for the spiritual elevation of the people.
The farm project can help people for elevation in Krishna.
Well, it's not just farming. You have to have Bhagavatam class. You have kirtan. The standard programs are there at the farm. In the morning, before you go out to the field, you should study the Bhagavatam. You have kirtan, Mangalarti. The standard things are there. You have to educate people. Not that you just engage them in farming. They have to understand who they're farming for. You have to educate them in Krishna consciousness along with the farming. Now that we just milk the cows and protect the cows, we have to offer the milk to Krishna. They have to understand Krishna. Without Krishna consciousness, what's the value of farming without Krishna consciousness? There's no value. Krishna consciousness has to be there, whether you're serving in the city or the country. The same thing, Krishna consciousness. Is that clear? What is the difficulty? Is there a difficulty?
The difficulty is that they have to work very hard. They have no time for sadhana.
Like that. We go on, we have a sadhana, but maybe it's not the perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, also the question was like more theoretically. if we have a good model of Krishna conscious farm,
A good model? Where's there a good model?
if we have a good model,
You should make your place a good model.
The thing is, the farm model is not very practical because nobody likes to work on the farm.
yes, that's true.
That's the problem.
And if somebody wants to work, he don't want to follow sadhana.
Yes, that's the problem.
What was it? They don't want to do sadhana?
Yeah.
You have to pray to Krishna to help you make it successful because we need Krishna conscious farms. How many cows do you have?
30.
13?
And we're waiting tomorrow.
More coming tomorrow?
I hope not.
Happy with it.
Any other question? Yes?
I want to ask for those devotees who don't have much time to do devotional service, what alternative do they have?
Well, how many hours are they working every day?
Usually around 9 plus lunch break and commuting, it makes up to 10.
10, okay, so that leaves 14 hours. And how much hours of sleep they need?
7, 8, I don't know.
Let's say they take 7 hours of sleep. So there's 7 hours left for sadhana. That's plenty of time.
That's also for cleaning, cooking, bathing, eating, and all that.
If it's prasada, if they're cooking prasada, that's also devotional service. If they offer to Krishna with love, then their cooking is also devotional service. They make advancement by cooking for Krishna. That is sadhana bhakti, cooking for Krishna. What is the difficulty? Talking about yourself?
Also about myself and some other devotees, because usually there are projects which must be sustained, and sometimes we don't have time to do that. And I'm asking...
Are you chanting your 16 rounds?
Yes.
If you will prioritize rising early in the morning and before you do anything else, just focus on quality japa, and you find some way that you can regularly, read or hear Krishna conscious philosophy, then you can do so many things for your livelihood and be Krishna conscious. You just have to have, the key is you have to have quality japa. You sing the Gavastakam prayers every day. You can do that in 10 minutes even. You can do a dup arti at home. You can have a dup arti, sing Gavastakam prayers, 10 minutes there. You can chant your rounds nicely. It's just a matter of putting Krishna first, and then if you do that, if you sincerely want to awaken pure love of God within your heart, and you're putting Krishna first, He can arrange everything else for you. He's the ultimate orchestrator of everything. You put your full faith in Krishna, and He will reciprocate. I remember when first time I was a brahmachari for 14 years, then I got married to a wonderful devotee. And then I had to go get a job. And that was quite a challenge for me. I've never used to working a job, you see. It's just I was a hippie with no job, and then I was a brahmachari with no job. I never really had a job before in my life, really. And all of a sudden here I have a job, and I was from 11 at night till 8 o'clock in the morning. And oh my God, because I always gone to Mangalarti, I was so much in anxiety. Mom, what was happening at Mangalarti? Oh no. But if I had that desire, I have to go to, how can I live without Mangalarti? And then my boss said, nobody likes to work this night shift, but we don't mind if you take an extra long lunch break. So at 4 o'clock in the morning, I would go on my lunch break, I'd go to the apartment, pick up Guru Mata there at the apartment, go to the temple, attend Mangalarti, and be back there by, like 5:15 or something. So I had Mangalarti every day because I had the desire. Krishna reciprocated. Even when I was working a job. So if you have a desire for good sadhana, for Krishna conscious life, Krishna will facilitate. Even within your professional working life, Krishna will make an arrangement. Your boss is ultimately under Krishna's control. Ultimately. Then another example, tilak. I've given this example before, y'all haven't heard of it, but now everyone's heard of it. Tilak are us, right? We are tilak. Tilak is us. So another time I had to get a job. This is a part-time job now. I'm getting a part-time job. So to get hired, you put on a coat, a tie, and a shirt and a tie, and you go in. You take off your tilak. You go in. Maybe your hair's grown out a little bit. You get hired, right? So here I am going to work every day with no tilak. But one day I said, I just can't take this any longer. I'm going to wear tilak to work today. So I did. I wore tilak and went to work with tilak. And I was doing telesales on the telephone, And that day I was so fired up. I was getting one sale, I got another sale. My boss gets a commission on my sales. And he was going, wow. At the end of the day, he said, Mr. Bridge, my car name is Bridge, like Bridge Basi. He said, Mr. Bridge, I did not know what that is on your forehead, but from now on you must wear it every day. So, if you want to be Krishna conscious, even in your job and your work situation, Krishna can do all kinds of things. He's in the heart of everyone, even in the heart of your boss. So you just have to be determined, I must be the pure devotee of Krishna, and I must dedicate my life for making the world Krishna conscious. If you have that determination, miracles will happen, even in your work life.
But sometimes devotees make mistakes.
Sometimes devotees make mistakes? Really? It's only sometimes. Wow, I need to be one of those devotees only sometimes makes mistakes. I thought I was making a mistake at every minute. Yeah.
Lose their jobs.
Lose their jobs. For example?
There are some teachers, that in the name of preaching, they do not know when to speak and when not to speak.
Yeah, you have to be intelligent also. Discretion, as is stated, discretion is the better part of valor. Yeah. Yes. Question.
I wanted to ask if we should put our sadhana first before devotional service. Like for example,
sadhana is devotional service.
Yeah, I mean the chanting of the rounds and the morning programs and Sunday feasts before other projects that we do, like going and distributing books or going for preaching or something like that.
It's better to do the sadhana first. I know, for example, in Austin, after Mangalarti, I have to go to the kitchen and cook the offering. Make the breakfast offering. So I just get up early and do my rounds before Mangalarti, so there's no conflict. I get up, Guru Mata and I both get up very early, like 2:30, get up early, That's the best thing, just get I can't imagine, having to go to the kitchen and cook an offering without having my rounds done. I can't even imagine it. So what I recommend is get up at 2, get your rounds done. And then you're free to do all your service and grab a little nap sometime in the afternoon if you need it. That's what I recommend. Get that sadhana done first. That's the best thing if you can do it.
How can we do this? Get up so early when we cannot sleep in the afternoon because we have a job?
Well, at least on the weekends you can do it. You take whatever facility Krishna has given you and maximize it. And Krishna sees that whatever time He's giving you, you're maximizing it to the fullest potential. Then He'll make an arrangement you can have more free time also. You have to take whatever time is available for you now and maximize it in Krishna's service. And then Krishna will see that and reciprocate with you.
It's a question of what we want to put the priority to: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, or Krishna. That's what we have to
The
see.
thing is, we can die at any minute. So what's the most important thing every day? Getting your job on time or being Krishna conscious?
That one has to decide that.
You see? You have to prioritize Krishna consciousness every minute. Otherwise you're a fool. Professional, my career. What is your career? Your actual career is back to home, back to Godhead. That's your real career. That career is that's your primary. The other thing is secondary. You must always, your material occupation, career, that's always secondary business. It's always secondary. If you think it's primary, you're off the track. Your primary business is to become a pure devotee of Krishna and to spread this movement in the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's your primary, that is your career. The other thing you do to support your career, that's all. You understand? Yeah. Okay, David. Oh, we have till 10:30, isn't it? There's no breakfast this morning.
Today is Monday.
Huh?
Today is Monday.
Monday. Okay, if you have to go to work, you can go now. You're excused. Many devotees don't have to go to work. They've come. They're taking a day off. You see, they're here. They have no. There's many questions. This is the last. This is another opportunity. Yeah.
What can someone do with a very, very rebellious and stubborn mind?
What she said? What's the point?
What can one do if somebody has a very rebellious mind?
Well, I think we all have rebellious minds here. That's why we have material bodies. These material bodies are proof we all have rebellious minds. So you have a rebellious mind. And we all have a rebellious mind. That's why we have these ridiculous material bodies. So we have to give up this rebelliousness. Therefore, sarvadharman paticca mame kankshadaram vrajaham sangharbhavabhyo mokshishamimashuchaha. Take your rebellious nature and throw it in the garbage can. Now you must become the fully surrendered disciple of Guru and the fully surrendered devotee of Krishna. That's your only business from now on. Take your rebelliousness and flush it down the toilet. Get rid of it. Stop being rebellious right now. No more rebelliousness allowed. Finish. That's what we have to have. Yeah. They're very strong on rebelliousness. Rebelliousness, get out. You're not welcome. Mr. Rebelliousness, you're no longer welcome in my heart. Get the hell out of here and get the hell out of here right now, you rascal. That's the mood for rebelliousness. You should rebel against rebelliousness. Take your rebellious nature and rebel against rebelliousness. Okay? Next. Wow, it's two hands going up at the same time. Well, I don't know who went up first.
Local, take local.
I'll take the local first, okay.
Please tell us why are we singing the Nrsimha prayer every day, and what should be the mood of singing Nrsimha prayer?
Question is it?
I didn't hear. I was thinking something.
Why are we singing Nrsimha prayer every day?
Why we sing Nrsimha prayers every day?
And what should be the mood?
Oh, I'm so happy you asked me that question. Thank you very much. Prabhupada has given a very nice translation for the essence of the Nrsimha prayers. The essence of the Nrsimha prayers are contained in 4 words. Bahir Nasingho Hridaye Nasingho. That is the essence of the Nrsimha prayers, those 4 words. Prabhupada has given an elaborate translation of those 4 words. This is the mood of chanting Nrsimha prayers. May Lord Nrsimhadev dwell within my heart, killing all of my bad propensities, so that my mind becomes completely clean and I can bring peace to the entire world. In other words, the mood of the Nrsimha prayers is revolutionize your heart and revolutionize the world. May my heart become revolutionized, and may I now become empowered to revolutionize this whole universe. That is the mood of the Nrsimha prayers.
It's a melody.
Huh?
It's a melody.
It's a melody.
It's a very melodious singing.
Yeah, but you can do it. It's melodious, certainly. But it's melodious, but that is the mood. Revolution within, revolution without. You see, that's the mood.
Melodious is okay, but that feeling has to come within.
The feeling of...
Yeah, the feeling of cleansing oneself and giving Krishna.
It's very important that you have in cleansing within, because you can only revolutionize the world to the extent that you revolutionized yourself. So the main focus is, as Prabhupada said, be yourself perfect and lead the world. And you see, the first thing is be yourself perfect.
But
we start here of cleaning our within.
But generally devotees are praying for protection from all kinds of dangerous situations.
Yes, that's all right.
That's the mood, first thing.
So the biggest danger is our demoniac mentality, our rebellious mentality within.
That we don't think.
Well, then you should read Prabhupada's purport, where he talks about the meaning of the song, the meaning of those words. Hridayena Singha means, may Nrsimhadev come in here and sit in my heart and drive all the crud out of my heart right now. That's what you're praying for. All that crud will be driven out of your heart.
I wonder if anybody thinks that way.
Well, they should. You should be thinking that way. You're not. Now the order, my disciples are ordered to always think that way. And the others are not giving a suggestion to everybody else. Not okay, Symmetry.
How to know Krishna personally and to retain our loving relationship with him.
How do you know him personally? Well, first of all, he's a person. You should know that. And you're a person. You should know that. So to be able to personally associate with him, that requires spiritual perfection. That requires becoming absolutely perfect in Krishna consciousness. Of course, it's not impersonal, it's already personal. If you follow his instructions, like yesterday we read, Patram Pushpam Palam Tayam Yo Me Bhakta Prayachati. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, food or water, I will accept it. So that is a person, and he's giving you a personal instruction. If you do what he says, you are having a personal relationship with him. You understand?
How, when I want to eat, I will offer it, and other times I won't.
That's the beauty of deity worship, because, of course, you're out traveling, that's all right, but the normal thing is in the home, you have an altar, or in the temple, there's an altar. And the idea is not that we're cooking for ourselves, we're cooking for Krishna. So the more you can be in the mood of doing everything for Krishna's pleasure, now you're having a personal relationship with him. Let my every thought, my every word, my every deed, in all times, places and circumstances be pleasing to Krishna. Now you're cultivating a personal relationship with him when you're thinking that way, you see. I want to please him. He's here, he's with me, he's sitting right beside me in the heart. The Atma and Paramatma, Krishna is expanded from the Paramatma, sitting side by side with me. Krishna is present with me right now. Am I reciprocating with him or am I ignoring him? He's giving me my life, he's giving me my breath, he's giving me everything Am I using it for him or am I using it for sense gratification? If you want to have a personal relationship with Krishna, then you engage everything in Krishna's service. Then you're having a personal relationship with him right now. And that will become more and more realized the more that you follow the order of the spiritual master. Engage everything in Krishna's service. That will become more and more realized as time progresses. And as Krishna said, those who think they have a personal relationship with me don't have a personal relationship with me. But those who have a personal relationship with my devotees, they have a personal relationship with me. You see? So the more you can have a personal relationship with Guru and Vaishnavas, now your actual personal relationship with Krishna is becoming the manifest. Okay? Anything else? Yes?
How can I fight laziness?
The way to fight laziness is a very important question. I asked the same question many years ago at a festival. Because I being from the hippie movement, we certainly had that quality of laziness. So I asked the question to the sannyasi there, and I was sure he was going to say, by hard work, and it was going to be tough to hear it, but I was going to take it, hard work, you know. I was ready to hear by hard work, but I was amazed how this sannyasi answered the question. Krishna definitely inspired him, and I'm going to give you the answer too. I'll give you the same answer he gave to me. How can I conquer laziness? You ready? By love. That's all he said. But it was so deep and it was so profound, I never forgot it, and that was like 40 years ago. By love. Think about it. The mother loves the child, right? She has great affection for her little baby. He asks the mother, why are you working so hard? What do you mean working hard? This is my baby, I'm taking care of my baby. You understand? If you actually love someone, it's not work anymore. If you actually love someone, you work, they say work your tail off is the same. You work yourself so hard, but you don't even feel like you're working. So the real thing is you have to, by love, you see. You have to love the devotees, you love your guru, you love Krishna. In this way, by love, it's not work. Just like I'm working so hard here, and traveling and preaching all over the world, but this is my retirement. I'm having, it's like a vacation for me. It's having fun. Some people go surfing for fun. I'm surfing on the waves of Lord Chaitanya's mercy, preaching Krishna consciousness, engaging, worshipping the deity. This is fun. So when you realize it's not really work, this is all fun. This is the ultimate fun for the soul. To engage in Krishna's service. It's not a question of laziness anymore. I'm just having a great time. You ask the surfer, why are you working so hard getting up, on the surfboard? You see what I'm saying? He's not working. He's going a lot of physically, he's training himself a lot. Get paddle out there and do all these things on the board, but he's just having a great time. You don't feel like he's working. So if you actually learn how to surf on the wave of Lord Chaitanya's mercy, you won't feel like you're working at all. So there's no question of laziness. Understand? It's easy to say, but not always hard to do for us lazy people. But we're getting there, slowly. We're just totally absorbed 24 hours a day in Lord Chaitanya's service. It's coming gradually. Gradually coming to us. Okay, anything else? Yes? Okay, he's next. One with this one here, you're after him, yeah.
He doesn't understand completely what is the difference between Mangalarati and deity greeting, if you can explain a little.
What is the difference between Mangalarati and greeting the deities?
Yes.
Well, here there's not so much difference. But normally, Mangalarti, the Lord has just woken up. He's been given his morning offering. It's the auspicious time. The Lord has just woken, and then he's bathed and he's dressed very nicely, and after he's all Mangalarti is in his night clothes. You're welcoming him with a wake up. Now he's taking his bath. He's all dressed like the king. Now you greet him like, it's one thing is at home, the other is like in the court. You know, it's like the king in his quarters. Mangalarti is like the king in his quarters, and greeting the deity is like the king on his throne. That's what it's like. Getting the king out of bed in the morning, waking him up after he's gotten out of bed, and then greeting him in the throne when he's sitting in the court with all of his regal paraphernalia, his crown and his scepter and everything. That's the difference. The Lord at home and the Lord on the throne.
Assembly. His assembly.
The assembly?
Yeah, then he goes to his assembly.
Yeah. Next.
How do you see the role of local authorities in this process?
The local authorities, Prabhupada told me, do whatever the authorities say without question. That's what Prabhupada personally told me in a letter. You work with your local authority. None of us are perfect. I mean, we all make mistakes. So we shouldn't expect the authorities to be the same as good as Prabhupada. You see, we're all learning. So we respect our authority because our authority may not be, our authorities are not on the level of Prabhupada. Even the GBC isn't in the level of Prabhupada. But because Prabhupada told us to cooperate with the authorities, we do it as a loving service to Srila Prabhupada. Cooperate with the authorities.
Ако видим грешки в тяхното управление, как да се обърнем към тях, да им кажем да се поправят?
If we see mistakes in their administration or governing, how to approach them and tell them that they should correct themselves?
In the temple authority?
Yes.
If we see that they are doing mistakes, then how to approach them and tell them?
It depends on your relationship. It depends.
Well, we can.
It depends on your relationship. Younger.
The best way is to inquire if this is right.
The one who is mistaken, to approach him and inquire.
Yeah, inquire.
The thing is, it could be my mistake to think the authority is making a mistake. Could be my mistake.
Just like for here, they closed the curtain for Srila Prabhupada's worship. So I was inquiring from Mataji, why do they close the curtain? Because all the temples, they don't close the curtain for Prabhupada. Then I think I asked Chaitanya Prabhu, when he said Suhotra Maharaj has put these rules, so they are following.
Who put rule?
Suhotra
Maharaj.
Yeah. So then I just left it to that.
Yeah. And the part of
instead of saying, why are you doing this? It's better to inquire.
So the thing is, at our present level, we all make mistakes. So I think, I'm free of mistakes, but I see your mistake. And then that's a mistake. The more we can conquer our own mistakes, then we'll become empowered to help others conquer their mistakes. I get letters all the time from people saying they don't want to be corrected. And they feel that somebody's picking on them and like this. But the thing is, the more that we are willing to be corrected for our deficiencies, which we have many. Don't you have a lot of deficiencies? Don't you have a lot of deficiencies? The more that we are willing to be corrected for our deficiencies, the more we are empowered to help others overcome their deficiencies. So before I want to advise others how to correct their mistakes, I should first be focusing on correcting my mistakes. The difficulty is, I don't want to conquer my mistakes, but I want to conquer your mistakes. That's the difficulty, and that creates so much clashes in ISKCON because of that. Clashing, clashing, clashing. I don't want to conquer my mistakes, but I want to conquer your mistakes. You see what I'm saying? If all the devotees would focus on conquering their own mistakes, it would create a Vaikuntha atmosphere in this movement, and that's what I'm pushing for right now. Because unless we create that Vaikuntha atmosphere in ISKCON, we will not be able to do our duty of attracting the whole world to Krishna.
Well, there are certain types of mistakes are there that has to be pointed out.
We have our
example,
yeah.
For example, during Srila Prabhupada's time,
okay.
The children in his schools were abused. That has to be pointed out. Then the New York temple, they were offering egg rolls. That has to be pointed out.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes it has to be pointed out.
Even though we are full of mistakes, it has to be pointed out.
That's the other side of it. There's both sides of it. There was a case in New York where it's an interesting story actually. We had a sannyasi, was the temple president, a big sannyasi, and but one lady came, and she said, a Japanese woman, she said, "I am the heiress to the Toyota fortune." And they believed her. She was actually a con artist. So they believed her. The sannyasi gave up sannyas and married this woman because the idea was she's the heiress to the Toyota fortune. We're going to get all this money into ISKCON. But it was a lie. The sannyasi fell for it and gave up sannyas and married this woman. And she was so much respected. I remember she visited our temple in Miami, and she had a female attendant who fanned her with a chamra while she was hearing the Bhagavatam class.
Wow.
Right in ISKCON, if you can imagine the scene. She's sitting, hearing the class, and being fanned with a chamra while she was hearing the class. And under her direction, they were offering egg rolls to the Radha Govinda in New York. And devotees didn't want to say anything because, she's the big goddess, So Prabhupada criticized them for not saying anything. So sometimes we do have to say something, isn't it? So there's a balance between being humble and also saying things that need to be said that are wrong. So both things should be done. But the point is, the more you're humble, the more you have the intelligence how to know when to say something and when not to say something. That's also there. So developing humility, willing to be corrected, that's important. But it's not that we have to always just remain silent. If something is wrong, we should say something. If somebody is abusing somebody, it should be reported. You see. If the temple commander is raping the brahmacharinis, there should be something said about it, It's not that we're just blind at the same time. But the point is, the more that we are pure ourselves, the more we will have the intelligence how to act perfectly in every situation. So we should focus on our own purity first of all. And then from that, we'll know how to act in terms of associating with devotees. When to say something, when not to say something. Does that make it a little more clear?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Bhagadarya. She says Bhagadarya.
Bhagadarya. Yeah. It means very good?
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Yes.
Political question. It's not allowed for Bhagavatam. We have political questions. Not allowed for Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
It's better not to ask.
You have to tell me about
what?
Political questions.
Political questions.
Well, if it's transcendental politics, I can answer. What is it? If it's garbage, I reject it. If it's question, what's the question? If it's meaningful,
with the Parabjot first.
if it's meaningful, I will answer it. What is it? What is the question? How do you accept or reject it? If it's a nonsense, I reject it. So I want to know what the question is. What is it? If it's a nonsense question, I reject it. I want to know what's the question.
The question is, I've heard that one of our authorities, he has heard that one of our authorities kind of offended Gurudev, and therefore Gurudev couldn't come to our country. So what we should do in this situation, how to...
What is the question?
To respond.
My question is this, that he felt that the leaders offended you, so you don't go to Bulgaria. So what in that situation?
I'm coming next year. Actually, I'm not offended. I love the devotees in Bulgaria. So I guess we'll go ahead and stop here, and we thank everybody for tuning in. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada flooding the whole universe with an ocean ecstatic Krishna Prema ki jai.
Shri Sankara Prabhu ki jai. Jai.